All right, welcome to the call, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Hamlin. I'll be your trainer today, and this is our weekly champion training for My Car Club. So glad you were able to join us. And so, just want to emphasize that this is not a presentation. This is a training. We've got plenty of videos out there to explain the entire program. Be sure to watch those or get in contact with the person who may have invited you here so you can see that. So one of the things I want to cover in today's training is to make sure that people understand how powerful of a program that we have and how it can produce amazing results for individuals. So we're going to talk about the power of $1, and we're going to discuss the 5 steps to success that anyone can apply in this program in order to achieve extraordinary success for themselves and their families. So we're so glad you were able to join us. If you're able to pull out a pen and a piece of paper, go ahead and do that and take notes. With that said, let's get right into it. All right, so we're talking about the power of $1 to unleash the surprising power of small financial actions. What's so interesting about this and about this concept and about this amazing Car Club subscription is that it doesn't cost much money. We're talking about $33 a month. You can break that down to $1 a day. Okay, I just want you to think about this. How much money do you spend on a daily basis and you don't even know what you did with it? Well, he's talking about $1 a day now. In the United States, you can't even buy a cup of coffee for $1. Now, I don't know about Europe, and I don't know about some other countries around the world, but $1 is not very much these days. But the flip side is that if it's used properly, it could change your life. $33 for the potential of generating $10,000 a month, potentially even more, getting an awesome car, saving a ton of money on taxes. We talked about all those things in the past, but we just want to talk about the power of $1. And I believe that when we get to the point to communicate effectively to people so that they understand what this is and how affordable this is to be able to change their lives, that we'll be able to bring in even more people than we're doing right now. It's all about people understanding and getting a perspective. You know, what is effective communication, by the way? Effective communication is when you say something, it causes a person to take action. Effective communication causes a person to take action. I want you to think about what you're saying to people and how they are responding. If they're not responding in the way that you want, you need to adjust your communication because it is not effective. Are you with me? All right, let's go ahead and go a little further. So the power of 1 can change a life, ladies and gentlemen. All right, the power of 1 can change a life. Change lives. Got a misprint there, and that's okay. So one compassionate word, for example, can brighten someone's day. One random act of kindness can start a change reaction that can change many lives. And one small step forward can lead to major changes. How many of you would agree with that? But here's the most important part. And one community of remarkable people can spark a movement that can change an industry. So we're talking about the transportation industry. Of course, it's overpriced. So many people are dependent on transportation, but you know, there's so many challenges when it comes to transportation. You've got auto insurance you've got to pay, you've got repairs that you've got to make, you've got taxes that you've got to pay. There's a ton of expenses associated with transportation. And this is why My Car Club is here, because it solves major problems when it comes to that. All right, so now I want you to understand the whole concept of leverage and how it applies to My Car Club and why it makes this program so special. So I've got a short video here. It's about 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Let's go ahead and watch this, and then I'm going to ask you a couple of questions toward the end. So be prepared for a small quiz, because after all, this is training. Let's go ahead and watch this video.
Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Tired of doing the same thing over and over again? What if there's a better way? Well, my friend, there is. But first, let me let you in on a big secret. It's a concept that highly successful people are using. This is what I call the concept of leverage. Let me start with the definition of income. Well, you know the formula. It's income equals rate times time, right? Say your rate is $10 per hour, so if you work 8 hours, then you get paid $80. Pretty simple, huh? Now, what do people do to try to increase their income? They increase their time. So, some people work more hours or get 2 jobs. But what the real majority of people do to try to increase their income is to increase their rates. This is the main reason why we are told to get a good education so we'll get a good job. So people try to get promoted, some pursue better careers, or maybe take an MBA or PhD. All these strategies simply to increase the rates. This is what I call the employee mindset. Now, I'm not saying there's something wrong with this. What I'm just saying is there is a better way. Let me talk to you about the new mindset, the leverage mindset, or what I call the entrepreneur mindset. Let's step back for a while to see the difference. Again, income equals rate times time. Here's the enlightened definition of income. It is income equals rate times time times leverage. What is leverage? Leverage is something that you use to gain maximum advantage. Let's say you want to move a huge stone. You use a lever. This is the same principle when you have a flat tire. You don't use your hands to lift the car, right? You use the jack. So basically, you leverage your efforts through the lever or a jack. And this is what the concept of leverage is all about. It's all about leveraging your efforts. Now, let's take a look at some of the most successful people and see how they leverage. Business owners. Business owners or entrepreneurs leverage their income through their employees. Let's say you as a business owner has 100 people. Then you are basically leveraging your income through those 100 employees. One of the richest men during his time has profoundly put the concept of leverage in a single statement. J. Paul Getty said, "I'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own efforts." Now, let's take a look at investors. Investors leverage their income through their money to invest in companies who in turn leverage through their employees that create sales. Even superstars leverage too. Superstars leverage their income through their skills that allow them to earn endorsement income. Like if you're LeBron James, from the numbers of shoes sold, or if you're Lady Gaga, from the number of records sold. So there you go. The highly successful people who are financially secured increase their income not by focusing on increasing their rates or time, but by increasing the leverage. On the other hand, employees basically do not have leverage income because their income is based on their own efforts. So leverage equals 1, and therefore income equals rate times time.
I get it now. It's a very enlightening concept. But how can I create leverage income? And where do I start?
Are you ready to get out of your cave?
All right, all right. Now, let me do this. I'm going to ask a couple of questions here in a few moments, and I'm going to make a couple of people co-hosts so I can ask you a few questions. Just make sure that you keep yourself muted until you respond. All right. And I'm just going to make a few people co-hosts here so I can ask you a few questions. All right. I'm going to see how much you have learned because this is a training. Okay. Let's just go ahead on and a couple more people here. All right. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So highly successful people do what to increase their earnings? Can anybody answer that question? Highly successful people do what? What do they do differently to increase their earnings versus what an employee would do? What I'd like you to do, if you can answer that question, I want you to raise your hand. All right, let's go to David. I want you to answer that question, David. All right. Okay, David, you're unmuted. What do highly successful people do to increase their earnings versus what an employee does? Can you answer that, David? David,
highly successful people leverage their efforts through other people, different from what an employee does.
Absolutely. So highly successful people find some form of leverage to increase their earnings rather than just trading time for money. Would you agree with that, David?
Yes, I would agree with that.
Absolutely. So let me ask you a question, ladies and gentlemen. If it took you 1 year to create this type of leverage, would it be worth it? If it took you 1 year to create this type of leverage, would it be worth it? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to ask Carlos Alvarez to answer that question. Can you answer that, Carlos?
Oh, unequivocally 100%.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Carlos. To participate in MyCarClub, what is it costing you to be able to be involved basically for 1 year? How much money is that costing you to be able to do that?
It cost me $470 for the year.
$470 for the year. And how much is it costing you per month?
$33 a month.
And how much is it costing you per day?
About $1.
Okay, so for $1 a day, you put yourself in a position to leverage your income just like a wealthy person does. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that's worth it?
Unequivocally worth it.
Would you say that that's expensive?
Not at all. I
Now,
think my cup of coffee is more expensive.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think it's more expensive not to do it than it is to do it?
Absolutely.
Would
100%.
100%. Would you say that it's actually costing you money because you're not doing it than it would be if you were to do it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
This is one of the things.
This is you're talking about a car expense, the cost of a car on a monthly basis for most people. And I did the math the other day with a customer, and they were blown away. They were blown away. They had no idea that they almost reached 6 figures just to pay off the car the way they're currently doing it traditionally. And then I showed them what I did to find leverage with my Mercedes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, see, the thing that people need to understand is that we're actually already wealthy, but most people don't even know it. Our wealth comes through our partnership. Our wealth comes through our connection. We're really wealthy, but what's stopping people from accessing that wealth is their mindset, is a life of understanding, because economic power, ladies and gentlemen, is a team sport. I want you to think about it. Any organization that's out there that's successful in the market, it's a group of people. That's why they call it an organization, a company. It's a group of people working together that create that success. All right. And so, but the average person wants to go out there on their own to try to win, when they lose by default, because economic power is a team sport. This is one of the things that people need to understand. And so I want you to understand this. Economic power is the ability of individuals like you and I, companies like Apple, you name the rest of them, and countries to improve their standard of living. It increases their freedom to make decisions that benefit themselves and reduces the abilities of outside forces to hinder them. It's just a matter of a partnership. That's all it is. Now, what's so profound about this is that it doesn't even take a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. We're only talking about $1 a day. It doesn't take a lot of money. What it takes is the right mindset. That's all it takes. And one of the things that we want to become good at doing is communicating effectively so people can see what we can do when we partner together for just $1 a day. All right, let's just get some comments on that. I want to bring Mr. Giovanni Wade to comment about that. Sometimes, you know, we just need to talk, ladies and gentlemen. We just need to communicate with each other, right? And I think here he is right here. All right. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Giovanni Wade. What's your thoughts concerning that?
Well, you know, Mark, we discussed it, and Carlos, you know, he elaborated on it. It's an awesome concept when you break it down, because people look at things and they look at it from a large view. You know, and I talk to people, the first thing I think shakes them up is $143. And you know, I do that budget for business concept, your inflow, outflow, cash flow. But I think everyone, if you work in McDonald's, if you work in retail, $1 a day, you know, that's the basic concept of it. You take, you know, you have, get rid of the 143 because it's already gone when you simply refer 3 people. You're earning $275. So now that's out of the picture. From that day forward, right? You're doing $33 a day for 2 months from now, $33, right? 5 months from now, $33. The 11th month, you're just still paying $33 a month, which is $1 a day. So if you can get beyond that initial, for many people, a shock of $143. I mean, if you're past the age 30 years old, you should have $143. But let's get past that. You're doing $1 per day from your second month forward. So for 11 months, you're paying $33, ladies and gentlemen, which is $1 per day. It's that simple, Mark. And I thank you for this training because everyone needs to know that. If you can get everyone past the 143, it's $1 a day. $1 a day to create an awesome luxury car. I was at Karl Marx yesterday, Mark, you know, with some friends showing what can happen with $1 a day. And there were a lot of people coming there looking at cars they would love to have, but they don't understand the concept. You can get that car for $1 a day. So I don't want to keep elaborating, but I think I am elaborating. It's $1 a day, ladies and gentlemen. Get past the 143. If you do the 470 for the year, great, but it's $1 a day. Thanks, Mara, for the opportunity.
Appreciate it. I want to call on Darren. And Darren, you're in the UK. Hopefully you can unmute yourself. I want to ask you just a couple of questions about, you know, what things cost in the UK. Are you there, Darren?
I am here, yes.
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
So Darren, what is the cost of a cup of coffee out there where you live, by the way?
£2.80.
£2.80. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's more than $1 because I think the exchange rate is $1 something to one. So that's even more. It's like $3 US for a cup of coffee.
That's right.
Now, let me ask you this. When you talk with people about the program, are you able to communicate to them that this program is literally $1 a day?
Yes, I mean, obviously, I'd say £1, less than £1 a day. And it doesn't make sense, really. I just can't get the head around it. But once you explain it, I actually bumped into somebody in a car park yesterday, and he's seen it on the car, and he said, "How is that possible?" And I just explained. He goes, "What a clever system!" So it's just trying to explain to people there's different ways of looking at things. And I used that thing, like, you know, like the magic eye. When that magic eye came out, I could not see those pictures, and I was staring at them for 6 months, and I just thought that everyone's having me on. But eventually, when you see it, it's amazing, and you just can't stop looking. And that's all we've got to do, is basically just prove to people by just looking at it, that picture will appear. And that's all we have to do.
Absolutely. Thank you. I really appreciate
No
that.
worries. That's okay. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. So now, what I want to do here is, you know, as we continue with the program, we're going to become better communicators. We're going to become better inviters. Primarily, we want to get people in front of the information, and the light bulb will go off. All right. The most important thing, I believe, for us to have the success that we need is to never give up. Never give up. Never quit. You know that video I played before that? That's the title of it. It was Never Give Up, ladies and gentlemen. We just want to be consistent, because the $1 a day, we're spending it anyway. We're going to spend it anyway. All right. So we just need to hang in there long enough, be consistent, give yourself 1 year, ladies and gentlemen, and watch what will happen. You know, by the way, if you just referred one person a month, you're already in profit. You're paying $33 a month. You're going to earn 55. So it's not even about the money. It's about our consistency in moving forward with the program. Okay, so let's go on a little bit more now. Okay, and if anybody else has any thoughts concerning that topic, you can go ahead and raise your hand. I'll give you a couple of minutes to chime in on that before I go to the next topic. I'm going to just review a very simple strategy that we use to build this community, helping one another. All right, so let's go ahead with David. I see you right there. And go ahead, David. You should be able to unmute yourself and say hello to everybody.
Hello again. This is David in Florida. Mark, just one thought that I just had about people coming on board for that $33 a month or $1 a day and a one-time setup charge of $99. So it comes to $143. And my thought was, if everybody was helping the people that they brought in, if everybody helped the persons that were brought in to achieve that fast track of bringing 3 people in within 30 days, everybody that comes in will be able to earn that bonus and get that recognition that will motivate them to keep moving forward. And that's my thought. If everybody helped everybody achieve the fast track, make the money back, plus a profit, then that would motivate everybody that comes on board to move forward. That's my thought.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. And you need to know that that's exactly what the leaders have done. That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what Carlos did. Carlos, can you kind of talk about, how you built your team initially when you first got started?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's 100% correct, David. And, when I first got started, honestly, people can't believe I only had 12 people to sign up. I mean, that's my story. I started with 12, but I actually had 50 ready to get started. So what I did is the first ones that took action, I told them, hey, listen, I appreciate you taking action this quickly. For doing that, go find 2 people, and I'm going to help you with the third one. Get qualified. It is a big deal. I agree with David. People, when they see those little goals being achieved, it is a big deal. And if you guys look at our plan, that's exactly how it's designed. It's got all these little goals to take you to the major goal. But here, Mark, in every single training, the word that is used the most here is team, teamwork, team. And that's why the leaders are getting the results they're getting, because we do that automatically. We learned that skill a long time ago, where you're not by yourself ever in business. You're always a team. You're there to help, assist, support. And that's how I got started. My first few people who took action fast, they got to benefit from my own network.
Awesome. Absolutely. All right. So let's just review the super simple steps to success. Five steps, ladies and gentlemen. All right, you should be able to see it on the screen right here. Let's go ahead and get to that. All right, so the first thing, just like David said, just like Carlos said, the first goal is to achieve that 275 fast track bonus as soon as possible. That's going to put you in profit. It's going to give you that fast track bonus. You're going to get recognition for it. That's positive affirmation. All right, so that's the first step. How are you going to do that? By simply referring 3 people within the first 30 days. So this is the initial goal, and this is the goal of every person who joins the program. This is what they want to do as soon as possible. In the beginning is when you are most motivated, most excited. You want to get this done and get it out of the way as soon as possible. So the second step is to refer 2 more members. All right, so you've got 275 that you've generated thus far. When you refer 2 more members, guess what? That's going to give you enough money to purchase the 1-year membership. We talked about that. Would it be worth it for you to build and create that leverage if it took you 1 year would it be worth it when you're only paying $1 a day? Everybody agreed. Absolutely. It's absolutely worth it. So give yourself 1 year to make something amazing happen for yourself. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to work with our team members to do the same thing. They refer their 3, and each one of those people that you referred, work with them, make sure that they refer their 3, give them the support they need in order to make it happen. That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what Carlos is doing. That's exactly what the leaders are doing. All right. Why? So that they can achieve that $300 monthly residual. Congratulations to Giovanni for doing that last week. All right. So we're very excited about that. Guess what? That's going to put you in position to get the car, because we've heard it said over and over again. When you get to that $300 residual, you've got that team of 60. Guess what? It's like really fast. It doesn't take much for you to get to that next, to qualify for that car with 120. Why? Because it's not just you working, it's you plus 60 other people, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you call leverage. All right, 60 times leverage. That's what we're building here. Every time you refer someone else to the program, you increase your leverage. That's that exponential possibility for you to succeed. All right, and that's pretty powerful. Okay, so we work as a group of people, and as we work, we all go up. Everybody doing their part, putting their hand on the plow, so to speak. All right, let's move forward. So let's look at it through a microscope. So there you are. You personally refer those 3. We're going to do that as soon as possible. Now we've got a special training, a fast track training. I'm going to show you the link to watch that video. If you're new here, you need to watch that video, and you need to do it exactly the way that it's explained. All right, step by step. You don't want to skip any steps. You want to think about if you were on a baseball team, a soccer team, a football team, and you're just learning, how to do certain things. You're going to practice those things over and over. You're going to do exactly what the coach tells you to do, and you're going to repeat it consistently, right? So the foundation here, you're getting ready to build a skyscraper, right? It's going to provide lots of money for you down the road. You want to make sure you build it correctly. You bring in those 3, and so you can generate that 275. You're in profit, and you're going to work with those 3 to each do the same. This is your foundation, that core of 12 members in your team. So it's not just you now, it's you plus 12 other people working with you. All right, very, very, very powerful. This is exactly what I did. It's exactly what Carlos does. This is exactly what the team leaders do. And so, what I do is I don't want to go any wider than this. I want to build depth, because that's going to create longevity within the community. And so, when I bring in additional people, if they don't want me to place them, then I don't want them to sign up with me. Because if I go wide with another person, I've got to work even harder to make this thing succeed. So I need people who are going to cooperate and work with me so I can help them. All right, let's continue forward. So here we have it. So you've brought in your 3, all right, but you're not going to stop. You're continuing because you're consistently promoting the program. And so when you bring in that 4th person, ladies and gentlemen, what are you going to do with them? You're not going to put them on your first level. You're going to place them down under one of the 3 people that you've brought in. So we've got a placement tool, which enables you to do that and still keep the referral commission. All right. And so, boom, you can do that. All right. And then, so of course, you want to work with these people to get their 3. But when you get that additional individual, you want to place them down inside of your team. And when you get that next additional person, you want to place them down within your team. And so when I do this, I will contact this person. Let's just say this is Mary. And I will tell Mary, hey, Mary, I just placed a person in your team. In order for you to take advantage of it, you want to make sure that you have your 3. All right. You want to make sure that you have your 3. And so this becomes a win-win situation, because I got the $55 direct bonus, but this person got the count. They got that extra person in their account, because this can help them to qualify for the various levels within the program. All right. So now what's so interesting about that is that, yes, you already earned 275, but when you referred those additional 2, and you placed them in your team, you earned an additional $110. So by you personally referring 5 members, that's $385 that you have created. And a 1-year membership is $360. So you've generated enough money to pay that membership for the entire year, ladies and gentlemen. So you don't have to worry about even going back in your pocket again. It's all taken care of. You can focus on creating cash flow for your family and building out your team. All right. So now, if everybody personally goes out and refers 5 the way that you just did, I want you to see this. By the time you get down to your second generation, you've got a team of 30 members, right? And by the time you get down to your 3rd generation, you've got a total of 155 members in your team. What does that mean? You are well qualified for the car. All right. Everybody personally referring 5, it changes everything. All right. And it's going to accelerate the process of you getting the car, and it will accelerate the process of them getting the cars as well. All right. Hopefully that made sense. Carlos, what are your thoughts concerning this strategy?
It's excellent. It's excellent. Look here, what I love about this program, it is designed to serve anyone at any level, whether you're a novice to a professional and anyone in between. You guys can see the strategies that can occur here. Let's say you're brand new. Okay, so start with just 3. Now let's say your confidence level has grown. You feel much more confident. Now you can see that this strategy is for you. And then of course, there's those of us that are going after the big jackpot, which is the 10,000 a month, which obviously it's 6 legs. But the idea here is how to do it effortlessly and use leverage, right? That's the topic today. And that's what we're learning here today. Thank you, Mark.
All right, awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and take a few questions. Hopefully that was clear for everyone. So if you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand, and we'll give you an opportunity to ask your question. Okay, let's go to Pauline, I'm sorry. Okay, Pauline, you're unmuted. Welcome to the call.
Hi, Mark. Hello, everyone. I don't know. I am stuck. I've been inviting persons on the calls. I've been sending out the information, but I seem to know the wrong set of people because after they have gotten the information, that's it. It ends right there. So I am still to find my 3. I've been doing this for nearly a month now, trying to find my 3 for the past couple weeks. And one person signed up, but that person has not yet upgraded to make their purchase of their subscription. So I've been trying to be on the calls. I've been trying to do what has been suggested, but I am stuck.
Okay, so first thing, don't quit. Don't quit on yourself. All right. And so let me ask you a question. How many people would you say, if you had to keep account, how many people would you say you share the program, the information with?
More than 40.
More than 40. All right. Share the program with 80. Share the program with 120. All right. So what I'm trying to say to you is you have to mass market. You have to mass market. If the number of people that you have shared the program with thus far have not responded, you have not shared the program with enough people. You've got to mass market. All right. Let me ask you a question. You have a cell phone?
Yes.
How many people do you have in your cell phone database?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. You think you have 100?
Possible.
Yeah, 200?
It's possible. I really don't know how many persons I have in my contacts.
Yeah, you probably have hundreds of people in your cell phone database. In order for you to communicate with them, all you would need to do is send them a text message. And you would use one of the posts that we put in the Facebook group. It's not offensive. It's what's known as attraction marketing. It's designed to find out if they are even interested. So
that's basically what I've been doing. I've been placing the snippets from the meetings on my Facebook, on my Instagram, on Messenger, and individually. So I have been mass marketing, but it's just that.
No, you haven't been mass.
Hold on. Let me finish. I have been sharing it to a number of individuals, but the issue that persons are having is they see this as a Ponzi scheme, and that's where that's what keeps coming back to me.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, every time they keep saying it's a Ponzi scheme. Be careful. It's a Ponzi scheme, and that's the feedback that I've been getting.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. So let me ask you a question. When they tell you it's a Ponzi scheme, what do you tell them?
Well, I tell them that it's in my estimation, it's not a Ponzi scheme because it's individual working with each other to achieve.
Okay, so here's the thing. When someone says something like that to you, you need to find out what they mean by that. You have to ask them, well, what does that mean to you? So most people don't have a clear definition of what that means, but in order for you to even respond to that, you have to understand what their understanding is of what a Ponzi is. So let me ask you, what is a Ponzi?
To be honest, I'm not even sure, because what happened is that a number of these persons, they got into some pyramid schemes earlier and they got burned. And because of the referral program that comes along with MyCarClub, because of the referral side of it, to bring in 3 persons, they see that as a pyramid scheme, and that's where the drawback is for them.
Okay, but let's get to you, because you actually mean more than them. So you mentioned 2 different terms already. You mentioned pyramid and you mentioned Ponzi. What's the difference?
Honestly, I don't know.
See, you need to know. So if you are presenting a program, let's just say, for example, you were selling air conditioning.
Hey, Mark.
Yes.
She's a great example. She's
Yes.
a great example, Pauline. You just answered your own question. Each of those persons mentioned that term, but they actually, believe it or not, are in the same page as you. They've heard the term before. They use that term for a scapegoat most of the time. But most of them, unfortunately, never had an opportunity to have someone actually spend a little time with them and explain to them those terms.
So here's my, yes, excellent. So here's my assignment to you. Study those terms and learn what those terms mean, so you can explain the difference between what this is and what that is. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I really appreciate you elaborating, because it's very important. Yes, you have communicated with 40 people. All right. So 40 is not a small number. It's also not a big number either. But you keep running into the same issue. So what that means, you're not communicating effectively to those people. And part of the reason you're not communicating effectively is because you don't know the definitions of those 2 terms. So therefore, you cannot explain it to them and explain to them why this is different. So
that is why I invite them to the calls, because I can't explain it as
and that's good. But let me help you. These people are your friends. All right. And they're communicating with you. They trust you better than they do us. And so the best person to explain the difference is you. And so you need to educate yourself concerning those terms. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Right. And so, first of all, you need to know why this is not either of those two, because it's not. But in order for you to know that, you need to know the definition of those words. So that's my assignment to you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, let's go to the next person. I see another.
Yeah,
hand
Mark, I
right
just
there.
want to make one real quick point. You know, I went to 200 people,
Mhm.
Arlene. I went to 200 people for 12 to join, just to help
Yes.
you manage your expectations.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the thing too, I actually posted information in a group that had over 500 persons.
So, and that's fine. You posted in a group that had 500 people that didn't know you. All right, but you posted, and that's fine. But let's deal with the main issue that you are having right now, which is those two terms. And so let's deal with that. All right.
Okay.
Get a better understanding of that, because out of those 40 people, if you could have explained the difference, you may have been able to register some of those people. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. But most important thing, I want you to understand, if you hang in here long enough, you're going to understand these things and you will have success. So one of the challenges, I kind of posted this on social media the other day. This is really interesting. And it sort of relates to what you're talking about. And I want to just see, did I still have this up here? Oh, okay. Let me go here real quick. I want to just share this with you really quick. All right.
And Pauline, we appreciate that, because that's one of the biggest obstacles everyone goes through. Every one of us go through exactly what you're going through.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is kind of interesting. This is kind of interesting. If you're not willing to die for your dream, someone else will kill it. Okay? If you're not willing to die for your dream, someone else will kill it. Okay, what am I referring to? I'm not talking about your belief and your faith in what you're doing here. I'm talking about other people trying to kill what you're trying to do. How would they kill it? By calling it certain things that it might not be, or whatever. You've got to be strong enough and understand what you're doing enough so that you be able to overcome whatever comes at you, so you can stay on course moving forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, because right now, other people, they're trying to kill your dream. Right now, other people are trying to kill your dream. Do you feel a little bit discouraged right now?
Definitely.
Yeah, they're trying to kill your dream, but you've got to get the training and everything that you need. That's why you're on this call today, so that you can be strong enough to get past that. So I thank you for being on the call today. Don't give up on yourself. Don't quit, and learn more, make those adjustments, and keep moving forward. Thank you for that.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, let's go ahead and go to Modesto. Modesto, I'm going to unmute you. Modesto, you can go ahead and say hello. I see you have your hand up. Can you hear us? Modesto. All right, let's go to
Yes,
Pastor.
yes.
Yes,
Can
how
you
are you?
hear me?
Yes, I can.
Fine, Mark. How you doing? This is Modesto. I am Hispanic. My English is not so good, but I will try. So the pyramid is a structure the government uses. The top of that structure is the president, and then the board, the senators, and a bunch of people there. Everybody use it. That's the best structure we have. That's a pyramid, like they say. Also, we got the Egypt pyramids. So don't get confused. People ask me, that is a pyramid. Is that right? The only pyramids I know is Egyptians pyramids. Besides the structure government pyramids, I know. And also the Ponzi was a guy, Italian guy, I believe, in the 30s. He lied to a lot of people, asking for money, things like that. So that is another story. So people likes to confuse it, like I mentioned before. So it's only things I want to explain what happened in the past. But I got another question. Here you got 5 by the structure you have, the matrix you have is as only illustration purposes.
Mhm.
Could be a 3 by 4, 5 by 4, 10 by 4, or what is the best way to do it, or what is the original must be to follow? Is 3 by 4
Okay.
or what?
Okay. So I want you to look at this. Okay. So hopefully you can see my screen right now. All right. So you bring in 3 people. You work with those 3 to bring in 3. So you still only have 3 people on your first level. You don't have any more than 3. But you're continuing to bring in more people. You place those people down in your team. Now, those last 2 people, I'm still working with them so that they can bring in 3. I'm working with this person so they can bring in 3. So now I have 5 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people that I'm working with to bring in 3. So when you come over here to this next screen, I have 5 people. You remember? Those are the first 3, but I brought in 2 more. And I'm working with them to each bring in 3 and for each one of them to bring in 5, because we're all following the same strategy. That's where this comes from. So even though you see 5 people here, it's only 3 personals direct to me. The other 2 are down in the team. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's what this. So what we're doing here, we're leveraging the power of 5 instead of leveraging just the power of 3. And
I
that's
see.
yes.
Could be 10 by 3 or 10 by 4.
You could work with 4 people who refer 10. You can work with, any number that you want. But in this example, we're just saying we're working with 5 people and their goal is to each bring in 5. It's just an example. And so a lot of ways of approaching this, but this is just an example. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, now I want to back up just a little bit because we need to give a definition of what a Ponzi is, and we need to give a definition of what a pyramid is. All right, so I challenged the young lady to go and review it herself, but she actually doesn't have to go far because we know exactly what they are. Okay, so when you talk about a Ponzi, you're talking about an investment scheme. All right, so someone is promising you a certain return on your money, but they're actually using the money from new people to come in to pay the old people. That's called a Ponzi scheme. This is not an investment program, ladies and gentlemen. This is a monthly subscription. And the company appropriates the funds based on your qualifications within the program. And of course, it's a subscription program that provides certain benefits, including this training that you're watching right now. So that's a Ponzi. This is not an investment program. So you need to know the difference. A pyramid scheme it's kind of interesting. A pyramid scheme has to do with a structure. And so there is a structure here, but I want you to understand, you don't have to build it down if you don't want to. You could build it wide. And because you have the option to build it wide, that makes it not a pyramid, because you could personally refer 120 people direct to yourself. The company gives you the option to be able to do that. Does anybody else want to comment on that? The difference between this and a pyramid. Anybody want to comment on that? Let's go to Pastor Kazim. Pastor Kazim, are you there, sir?
Yes. Can you hear me, Brother Mark?
I sure can.
Well, listen, thank you for this great training. And again, you literally stole my thunder, because that's exactly what I was going to get to about understanding a Ponzi scheme. It's a form of investment, and we live in a society that um, of what on a pyramid structure, everything from our government on down to our households. It is a pyramid structure. But we have to understand what MyCarClub is, and what Rion and what Mr. Paul and Shredder and Mr. Ken and all of these individuals who are the owners and the infrastructure. They built a program that models group economics, and another things that we need to understand and have the definition was crowdfunding platforms. Because if you're understanding the crowdfunding platforms, there's nothing illegal about it, because our former president made it a law. And so that's what we need to understand, those terminologies, because when someone says it's in a pyramid scheme, you have to ask themselves a question. You ask them, did I say anything to you towards investments? This is not an investment platform. You're not investing. It is a monthly subscription. And again, you have the opportunity to even take care of the monthly subscription by getting your 5, and you have that, you have solved that issue of quote unquote saying it's a bill every month coming in on the month, because you just earned 300 or over $360 just to do that. That's what I've taught my team to do. I taught my team to do exactly what you just said. Go out and get 5, get that first route, get past the issue of $33 a month. But even $33 a month, we spend $33 a month, and especially if you got children, you spend $33 a month in a matter of 5 minutes. I mean, $33 a day within 5 minutes if you got kids. And so it's about leverage. And that's what we have to understand about this platform. It's not the issue. It's not the issue that we are building by ourselves. It's group economics. That's what we need to have in our mindset. And to that young lady, Ms. Pauline, and I agree with Brother Mark, ma'am, do not give up on your dream. Do not give up on your belief, because there are those who don't. You just have to continue to plow the field. You have to continue to believe in yourself and say, I'm going to get more than my 3, and I'm going to be successful. And that's what you have to say to yourself every day, and every time that you want to quit, every time somebody says it's a Ponzi scheme, well, guess what? You just move to the next person, because listen, the no's are what you want. And let me just tell you why I say the no's are what you want, because the more no's you get, the closer you're going to get to the yes. And when you get to the yeses, it's going to be a snowball effect. And it's going to go down using this goal or this foundation that we see here on the screen. That's the key. That's the blueprint. And you stick to the blueprint, you will get there. We all will get there. And again, like I say, Ponzi scheme, somebody will say that to me in a Ponzi scheme, I will tell them instantly, this is not an investment platform. This is not an investment company. This is a matrix. I say, and then it says this is a pyramid scheme. I say, no, it's not. I say, because you can come in here and advance over me. You can come and advance over me. You can come in here and do what you need to do to get qualified for your vehicle, and you can pass me up. In a pyramid, in a quote unquote, what we call a pyramid scheme, the person at the top making all the money, that's not so. So with that said, I hope I said something that will spur that young lady on and spur anybody else on. And I want to thank you, and I want to thank Carlos. I want to thank the whole team of MyCarClub of putting this project together to be able to help people today, because again, there's a lot of folks understand needs this program. And again, I'm telling you, I'm proud to say I'm a member of MyCarClub.
All right, thank you. And man, you raised some great points.
Thank
So
you,
if
Pastor.
You're
yeah,
welcome, dear.
thank you.
I'm
Because-
also a pastor, by the way.
Oh, great, great.
But
great.
see, hold on, stop right there. But if you're a pastor, let me just say this to you. We got the numbers. If you're a pastor, we have the numbers. See, this is a numbers game. We have the numbers in our community, in our congregation. It's not an issue. You're not trying to convince nobody. It's just the same thing like we do. We preach the good news, the gospel of Jesus Christ. We're not trying to convince nobody that they need. No, we're not trying to do that. We just get simply giving a story, giving a concept that was what we was commissioned out to tell the masses. And that's it. Some will, some won't. Somewhat. We move to the next person, but we don't stop the message because we know the message is true. And how we know the message is true, let me tell you something. Let me just say this to you and listen. When I first heard about this, I was in another company, and this company had a car program and it never could get off the ground. We did everything to get this company to get this car off the ground because we understood one thing. If folks got the car in their hands, that's going to be tangible proof. That's why I believe MyCarClub and Rion and Paul, they were spot on because when we get that car tangibly in our hands, guess what? We ain't got to say nothing. People gonna say, how did you do that? And all them 40 people, my dear, all those 40 people that said it's impossible, I guarantee you, when you drive by their house, blow their horn and say, look, I guarantee you, they're gonna be running behind your car and say, please stop, I need to get in. And that's fact, because once we get the car in our possession, that's tangible proof. The naysayers can't say it can't happen, but we got the physical proof. We got the Marks, we got the Carloses, we got the individuals, especially in the United States. We have over 7 to 8 individuals have already achieved that, and there's going to be a whole lot more. So listen, the proof is there. It's a no-brainer. Just stay focused and believe. But remember, as pastors, we got the numbers.
All right, Pastor, I got to cut you off. I gave you the mic, man.
Yeah. You already know you get a pastor mic. He don't know when to shut up.
So let me do this. We got Ken Dunstan on the line, and we also have Paul Chalmers on the line. I want to give both of them an opportunity to share. It's been a really great training. And so let's start off with the Vice President, and that's Mr. Paul Dunstan. Go ahead, sir. You wanted to share a few thoughts?
Hello, Mark. I can't help but interject there. Let me share you one of my best explanation to an ordinary person, because what I find the usual technique for explaining is a pyramid, is that people say, no, everything is a pyramid. The government is pyramid, but that makes them more defensive.
Yes.
The best explanation I've used is this. Network marketing is leverage and is such a powerful system for business. Why? Because one person can make use a lot of people to achieve the goal. But as in anything that is so powerful, any strategy, any method, any tool is powerful, what happens? It's going to be abused. Now, Mr. or whoever that is, what you are looking at is the abuse of the system and not the system itself. So what you need to look at is, which one is it that you hate? Are you hating the system, or are you hating the abuse of the system that you experienced in the past? So once you explain that, give an analogy, for instance, drugs. Drugs can be prescribed by doctors for healing and sickness, or could be the drug dealers. And do you say drug is bad? No, drug can be very good, can be abused. Same with guns, same with fighting techniques. You learn martial arts, and is that a bad thing? It's bad when it's abused, but it's not bad when you use for self-defense. So, my friend, here's the thing. What we have is the most powerful tool in business, and because it's so powerful and easy to use, it's gonna be abused. So you must distinguish between which one you're talking about, the system or the abuse. Then we have to distinguish whether the system has been used abusively or properly, and we are on the later one. We are using this properly as a leverage. That is, to me, the most powerful explanation that nobody has come back to me with that. When I say that, they just stop. Ah, I got it now. You got it?
Awesome. Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. I really appreciate you, Ken. All right, we're going to bring on Mr. Paul Chalmers, and he is the Managing Director. And Mr. Chalmers, are you there, sir?
Yes, I am. Hello, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing good. Good to see you.
Yeah, great to see you. Great to see you, Carlos. Thank you for that, Ken. God, the pastor was going for it then, fair dues. Thank you very much. I don't know what else to say after the pastor has spoken. Now, it's a very interesting thing. I saw this this great funny TikTok. And this guy goes into a doctor's and he says, "Doctor, sorry, to the receptionist." Now, we all know trying to get past a receptionist in a doctor's to actually get a doctor's appointment is very, very hard. Yeah, they are the frontline attack to make sure that you don't get, unless you're dying, you don't get a flipping doctor's appointment. And this sketch was about this person coming. He said, "I got this and I got that and he got that and I got that. Oh, you should be okay. You look okay." And he said, "But the thing is, I put it in on Google, all of my symptoms, and it says I have a very, very serious disease." And she comes back and she said, "Well, Google said it. Oh my God, it must be right. Let's get you a doctor's appointment." So I just went into Google and it says, what is a Ponzi? And it says a Ponzi is a fraud that lures investors and pays profits. Now then, do we take investment? Do we provide profits to our investors? No, because we don't even have investors. So it says there's a form of fraud that lures investors and pays profit to early investors from the funds of the later investors. Yeah, so what comes in, you pay those until you finally got a load of money and then you run away. Well, of course, it can't be a Ponzi because we do not take investment. This is a subscription model. People actually benefit. Second one, so being it's on Google, it must be right. The second one, a pyramid scheme, is a investment scheme in which early paying participants recruit other participants, and they get their returns from being given to it from early participants. In other words, using money contributed later by others. Are we an investment? No. Do you give us investment money for us to invest and provide profits? No, we don't. So if Google says that, I believe it. Because of course, the doctor's receptionist did immediately, because Google is always right, and we know it's right. The thing is with this, you can have 120 directs and get a car. You don't even need to form any form of a structure which even looks like a pyramid. Yeah, because the thing is, you can have 120 direct people. You've gone out around your street, around the next ones, and next one, you've got 120 people. They've all come in direct, and hey, presto, you've got your car. Yeah, you have been able to do all of that work, and therefore you've been provided a car because of that. Now, then it could be that Carlos Alvarez has a leader called Carol. Carlos doesn't have the car, but Carol does. Well, that can't be a pyramid scheme, can it? Because always the person at the top gets the most amount of money. Carlos may have a fantastic person in one leg. Yeah, that person makes so much, could even become a champion 100, and Carlos will still not get the car. Why? Because the person that puts the work in is the person that gets the benefit. Okay, so again, it totally slices and dices. Anybody that says to you, and this is a little bit of training for all of you, if you get asked these questions, those are the actual answers. Okay, because first of all, it has to be investment to be a Ponzi or to be a pyramid. And let's be honest, the richest man in the world, who is, or is at least in the top 3, said, if I ever had to start again, I would do network marketing. So if the richest man, or the one of the 3 richest people in the world, said, if I had to start again from scratch, I would do network marketing. Because again, I'm looking at the screen here, and it says the business model based on network marketing is the best model in the world to sell product, not investment. People have used and abused, yeah, that business model, okay, with Ponzi schemes where they never ever were planning on staying for the long term, normally no longer than 1 year. So, but what we have done is we've created a model here that everybody else has always wanted to create, but never have, because they hadn't thought about it. We have a model here that allows people in a product-based system to be able to have just a small number of people bringing in, not the thousands like you used to have. You know, you go into Amway to be able to make the same amount of money as you can in CarClub, you'd have to have most probably 10,000 people. Here, you need 120. So what we've done is we've made this hybrid model, which takes out the lower numbers of an investment type of system, but mixed it with a traditional and a safe, because at the end of the day, you're buying a product here. This is not an investment, so it has to be a product-based company. We've managed to get both of them that people can benefit significantly with a small number of people coming in. You don't need the thousands, you don't need the tens of thousands. I think 600 actually gives you everything. So that is what CarClub has done. And the pastor said it was very, very difficult for the company that he was in, no matter what they did. All of those leaders working so hard, yet they still couldn't get it off the ground. We're in our infancy and it's off the ground, it's flying. It's a car, so it should be on the road, but we're actually flying. So we've given it Red Bull. Okay, it's got wings and it's going to continue like this. And the great thing about it is that even though we've had a number of issues as we've started, any young company does. I think Carlos and Mark, and if Alan is on as well, they will tell you that every time we've had a problem, we have aggressively sorted it out. 1 or 2 have been very difficult, especially with the payment systems, but boy, we've got that one sorted forever now. So we really do. And also, we also take feedback from our leaders, because at the end of the day, the people who know what the problems are, how hard it is to get somebody, how it would be able to be made so easy that we could go to somebody and they just say yes. We listen to what they say. And Mark, and because we've got, I can see 2 main leaders on here at the moment, Mark and Carlos, and we've got Darren as well. I see a number of other leaders on you now, but when we say something, we do our best to implement it and implement it very, very quickly. Now, what is CarClub going to be like after it's been running for 12 months? We'll have a celebration event somewhere in the world. We'll have an international event somewhere in the world. But we already, I believe, have 12 or even, 12. Maybe Alan Jones today has made it 13. I'm not sure. But I have no doubt by the time that I come to USA, which is only going to be, I think it's 2 weeks Saturday. My knees will start knocking now, wondering what I'm going to say on stage. Ken will say, you can talk until the cows come home, Paul, but you haven't got to worry about that. But I can't wait to get over there and get on stage and see all our amazing members. And also people who weren't so sure that are coming, to be able to see it and make sure that they realize this is a real company with real people. And we have an opportunity here that anyone, no matter where you are in the system, no matter where you are on what leg, in what line, you can achieve everything. You don't have to be at the top anymore. We've taken away all the rubbish of previous schemes, and we've made, as I said, a hybrid, which really is working very, very well. Thank you, Mark, for allowing me to speak for a few moments.
All right, awesome, man. That's I think that was an excellent way to wrap up this training for today. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back again tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do it again. I really appreciate all of you who have come, asked questions. If we didn't get your question answered, just follow up with your sponsor. We want to get your questions answered. So we've been on the call for a little over an hour and 15 minutes. We normally try to keep these to about an hour, but we really appreciate you. Most important, don't give up, ladies and gentlemen. Man, we are on a winning road right here. We're doing some amazing things, but none of us have seen anything yet as to what MyCarClub is going to be and the number of people that it's going to help. So thank you so much, Ken. Thank you so much, Mr. Chalmers. Thank you so much, Pastor Kazim, Pauline, everybody who contributed today. We'll see you all again tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everyone have an awesome day. Goodbye for now.